Hello. So today we're going to be going over the Cola Wars, and we're going to be talking about how Coke and Pepsi have competed for profits throughout their lifetime. So my name's Erica Edney, and I am going to be presenting on the internal side of things. First of all, Coke has used a variety of strategies to push forward, including innovation, product distribution, as well as marketing, really to remain competitive with Pepsi Cola. So while Coke had some downfalls, including legal situations, conflicts overseas, and some external relationships, Coke was able to evolve and find solutions to stay competitive. One of the core factors that really allowed Coke to push forward was their technological development. Throughout their lifetime, Coke has consistently come up with new products to compete with Pepsi's. So obviously shelf space was very competitive, as well as in the restaurants. And in the 60s, Coke launched Fanta, Sprite, and the low-calorie tab, as well as new flavors and types such as cherry cola, caffeine cola, Diet Coke, and that was really to just continue getting people to want to buy the Coke products more, and it was working. When lifestyle changes started to happen and people started thinking that Coke was too unhealthy to drink and they started banning them in schools, Coke realized they needed to change their process. So what they did is they started focusing on non-CSD, which is non-carbonated drinks, and they purchased Minute Maid fruit juice, Dunkin' Fields, and they started focusing on coffee, tea, juices, sport drinks, energy drinks, and even water. Coke used purified water brands and actually outdid all the other competing brands. Another really, really important thing that they did is they expanded their diet market, and Diet Coke actually became kind of the epitome of their company. So innovation was really important during this time as well. Coke helped develop open-top coolers, fountain dispensers, as well as vending machines. So these open-top coolers were used in supermarkets, and were used in supermarkets to get people to buy them more. And then the fountain dispensers were used in their food chain end. And the vending machines made them even more accessible by putting them in schools and basically everywhere else that you could get access to it. Efficiency was also very important. Something that Coke had to do was continue to improve their plants and make sure that things were getting done as efficient as possible, quick, but still with great quality. And one of the most important things that Coke did to reduce their prices was they figured out that they could use high fructose corn syrup instead of sugar. Other than their great technological advances, they've also been really great in their marketing and sales strategies. So Coke is available absolutely everywhere. It's available in supermarkets, available in restaurants, it's available in schools. And what Coke decided to do was expand their market segments even further. So they, like I said before, they didn't make different products, the diet stuff, the different flavors, the different kind of juices, and then they also started to increase their money investments. So between 1981 and 1984, Coke more than doubled their advertising spending for Pepsi as Pepsi's sales took off, and the increase was successful in keeping them competitive. Bottlers are also extremely important in what Coke does because the bottlers are vital to the process. So while Coke was not obligated to provide support for marketing and advertisement to them, in 2002, Coke actually gave $600 million to just their top bottler alone. So it was a really important strategy in making sure that to ensure that the quality would compete with Pepsi's. They also had a really great marketing strategy. So they started off with the lifestyle campaign where they tried to show how Coke was a part of your life. And then later in 2005, they came back with the Coke side of life, which brought kind of the whole idea back and also pushed them forward once again. And another thing that really helped them at the beginning was so they expanded their markets into overseas, into the foreign markets. And how they started with that, it was actually by supporting American troops. So they said Coke is 5 cents for anyone in the military, anywhere, no matter what the cost. And they started following the American troops, and by doing this, they expanded into foreign markets, into Europe and Asia, and that was the beginning of their expansion. And now foreign markets is a huge portion of their profits. So Coke has really, really been successful in doing these things and making sure that they are continuing to evolve and they're continuing to change with the lifestyle. And now we're going to have Elizabeth talk about the external analysis.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth, and I'll be discussing the external analysis on Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Coca-Cola and Pepsi are two important companies in the carbonated soft drink industry. They have low profit margins and are dedicated to producing carbonated soft drinks that differentiate on price and flavor. Some of their competitors include Cadbury, Schweppes, and Nestle Waters. Coke and Pepsi make up nearly 75% of the U.S. carbonated soft drink market. As evaluated in Porter's 5 Forces, the threat of competitors is medium. However, it can become a significant factor if consumers change their preference toward drinks, such as what we saw in the 1990s. Coca-Cola has been the leader throughout most of the time in the carbonated soft drink industry. However, Pepsi has been right behind it. 3 important things Coca-Cola and Pepsi should keep in mind are pricing, product differentiation, specifically bottling, and marketing. As seen in the past analysis, foreign sales are important. Once the Cola Wars ended in the United States, Coca-Cola and Pepsi decided to go abroad and sell their products. Although they did have to make a few adjustments, for the most part, they were very satisfied and thought that they could potentially be as successful abroad as they were in the United States. The past analysis also showed that constant creation of new products can make Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or both companies lose shelf space, which is very important to them because this is how they get consumers to purchase their products. Some of the weaknesses we saw were that other suppliers were not as powerful as concentrate producers. In addition, rivalry exit barriers were low. Conducting the past analysis revealed that social factors such as lifestyle changes can change and affect companies such as Coca-Cola during the 1990s when it did not have a backup plan when consumers wanted to move from carbonated soft drinks to non-carbonated drinks, while Pepsi, on the other hand, did have a backup plan and had previously invested in non-carbonated drinks. Although Coke has been successful for the most part, it has undergone lawsuits such as the racial discrimination lawsuit, which have made consumers question their perception of Coca-Cola and whether or not it's a good company or not.
After analyzing the internal and external factors affecting Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, our group has come up with some recommendations and implementations that both companies can use to ensure their success in future business. One recommendation would be that both companies have strong relationships with their bottling companies and concentrate producers. Pepsi does already do well in this area with their bottler PGB, but Coke needs to improve their existing relationship with CCE, their current bottling company. This will be discussed further in the implementations section. It would also prove beneficial for both companies to improve public image, as it can lead to increased sales and brand loyalty. A recent trend, like the decline of carbonated soft drink consumption and sales, is an issue for both companies. They must figure out ways to better market their products, but also improve existing ones and do away with others that may not fit into current cultural trends. Coke and Pepsi both should look toward non-carbonated soft drinks like teas and juices and even purified waters as alternatives. They should also capitalize on their relatively large market share of bottled purified water, which I previously mentioned, especially with the condemnation of sugary beverages. Now for the implementation. As I spoke of earlier, creating a better public image involves creating a corporate social responsibility campaign to increase public image, and which also increases brand loyalty and in turn sales. Corporate social responsibility campaigns include showing that you care about the community, grassroots campaigns, and giving back, as well as caring for the health and well-being, simply being socially responsible. Another implementation that both companies could use would be to purchase existing brands to add diversity to their product line. This allows them to diversify their product line, but also to not build plants and purchase more overhead materials to actually produce these new products. We also believe that cutting down on somewhat redundant products like Sierra Mist Free and Pepsi Max, which are very small variations from current beverages, they should be cut out to reduce costs. And although they're just one drink, it really takes a lot of resources to produce, ship, and sell these products that only service such a small segment of the market.